Hi everyone, I am SS the Showstopper, and today is the 17th of November 2023. This is the third time I've uploaded this video because I kept saying October, but time flies when you're selling fries, I guess. No, this is a very funny topic for me, and this is one in particular that has to do with Romeich, who is coming for people. It's a video that's going around, and he's basically coming for people in defense of his son because they were calling his son gay, because what looks like he gave his son a car for his birthday or a gift, and persons were saying, I guess because he screamed out, persons were saying that he's gay, he's Romeich's daughter and not his son, and he didn't like it. And of course, he uploaded a video and he was saying that it's his son, and even if his son is gay, he can't do anything about that. What do you want me to do, hate him? And then he's saying that, you're calling my son gay because he's a gentleman, and that's why a lot of you get hit in your worry, bumbo, whatever. He was using expletives, and that's why a lot of men beat up you women because of this and because of that. So I'm looking into it, and I'm saying that this in particular, for people don't realize, for those not really looking at the broader spectrum, it's a stunt went wrong. Romeich, you came out and posted this video because persons were coming at you about the job fair that you were charging $1,000. That went wrong. People didn't like it. You uploaded a photo, screenshot of things that you were saying, and that's why people can't be better, and that you were actually defending it. When you see that people were standing their ground, then you said that, okay, it was a stunt, it was a prank, and you weren't charging any money because you have your party and you have your this, you have your that. That was your intention. The damage control did not sit well. It did not work either. That was your intention. Your intention was to charge for the job fair. Not only that, you went on further now and decided that you're going to upload a video gifting your son what you said is a 30,000 US vehicle, because you put the price on it and let the price be known, because in your head, the average Jamaican cannot afford a 30,000 US vehicle, which would be something to a $5 million in Jamaica. So they can't afford that type of vehicle, the average Jamaican. And so you were basically stunting on people and say, this is my get back moment. You understand? And it went horribly wrong because your son screamed out and people thought that, okay, he's a little girly, he's a little girlish. And then, you didn't like it because you consider it cyberbullying. And then you went further on to justify men hitting women, justifying physical abuse of women. And I'm looking into it, I'm like, are you okay? This is social media. You will have your get back. You understand me? But it just went wrong for you because the intention was not pure. And so you have to be careful of what you're doing. I think, see you as a businessman, according to you're successful. I haven't seen the books. I've seen PR work that shows that you're successful, but I haven't seen the book, so I can't prove it. Anyways, you are doing well according to when you're a successful businessman. Why are you reducing yourself to social media squabbles? I don't see it professionally. It doesn't look professional. It doesn't look like someone who has any form of moral etiquette or something like that when it comes to business. Because I wouldn't be thinking of necessarily wanting to go in a business with someone who looks like a sociopath. Like he does things to gather heavy attention, and if it goes wrong, he will have a defense mechanism for it at all times and stuff like that. That's the pathway of a sociopath. And I don't see the purpose of that when you are professing to be so successful and so above everyone else. It just went horribly wrong. And you said that you don't have a problem if your son is gay. So why do you have a problem with someone calling him gay? This is another aspect of the argument that we can't follow. You don't have a problem. So what if he's gay? Right, that I agree with you when you say that. So what if my son is gay? But then you're turning around, you're attacking people and you're upset about the comments being made. Then if he is gay, that's what people are saying. You understand? So why would you be upset about it either way? I mean, I can get that people are being disrespectful, because a lot of times Jamaicans are very disrespectful people, and I've spoke about it in the case of a woman who was recently murdered, and it's reported that she has been extremely disrespectful. And I was cautioning people and saying that you can't be flippant at the mouth and say just about anything to anyone and think that everybody's going to walk away or everybody is going to overlook it. There are some people that's going to seek clarification for the things that you are saying, and she ended up paying a price with her life. Is it right or wrong? No, it's not right. Clearly it's not. But at the end of the day, it can be ruled out as provocation. Back to you now, Romeich. We understand that if the comments are disrespectful and stuff like that, that I can totally understand. But I didn't hear you really say anything under the guise that they were being disrespectful. You were professing your argument to them calling your son gay. And like I said, if you don't have any issue with it, why are you making it an issue? If it's not an issue for you. You understand? And then you're reverting it to being a gentleman. Gentlemen don't scream. The characteristics of a gentleman is not to scream like a girl. You understand? And it's not that, okay, if you're not busting blank, you're not straight man. Come on. A lot of guys were raised in proper upbringing and household. I know that disoriented slave descendants tend to not have family values and stuff like that. But good God, we are educated, we are intelligent enough to know that a gentleman doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be busting blank, or he's going to be pointing gun finger at people, or he's going to be touting at the mouth and being foul and disrespectful. You understand? But we also know that a gentleman is not going to scream like a girl. So that's kind of why the reason people were saying these things. Like I said, I know people can be disrespectful, and so I totally do not agree with anybody disrespecting your son. And I can understand if that's why you were irate. But when we listened to your video and we watched it, clearly that wasn't the case. You understand me? Now, enough of all that. Romeich, you have a learning lesson. I think you need to take a step back from social media and figure out if you want to be a sociopath, if you want to be living in the spotlight of social media where people have an opinion about everything that you do and say, which you really cannot handle, or you want to be a successful and professional businessman who stay in the spotlight and have your PR team do their work for you, whichever way. Moving on, now we see we're in Cassie, who is the former partner of rapper Diddy, producer Diddy, mogul, businessman, whatever Diddy. And she has a $30 million lawsuit that she's filing in a 35-page of abuse, all of these kind of things. And when you get into the detail of it, it's rather dark, it's rather evil, it's rather very disgusting. That, you know, he abused her so much she had to hide out in hotels and stay overseas in places because she didn't want the public to see her. And he didn't want the public to see her like that, knowing that that's what he did. Also, he didn't want his sons to see her with all those bruises and scars all over her face and her body. And so he had her hiding out in different places. We see wherein Azealia Banks, another rapper, have chimed in and confirmed the argument that Diddy was so abusive. He beat Cassie so bad that she had to stay in Hawaii, something like that, to get away from the spotlight so that her face wouldn't be shown. He had threatened to blow up Kid Cudi in his vehicle. And so his vehicle actually got blown up. And all of these kind of things, having her hiding gun on her person. And I mean, it's crazy. Then he's going FO, which means freak off, wherein you hire male strippers and they are well endowed, big peen to have sex with her. And he sit and watch. That's very disgusting, very nasty and foul. You understand? For someone to subject another human being to this type of abuse. And I know a lot of people are going to say, why did you stay for 10 years? Why did you stay so long? What difference does it make if she was staying for 1 hour, or she stayed for 24 hours, or she stayed for 10 years? 10 years is a long time, yes? But what difference? When you're grooming someone, they are going to do a mighty long time with you because they're going to see certain behavior pattern as normalcy. And they aren't able to tell the difference because that's what they were groomed into. So maybe that's the reason she did 10 years with him. You understand? So for you to use that as a justification or an excuse for his behavior, clearly it's not going to be a hold up in court because number one, it's going to prove that the argument is true and he's going to be held liable. You understand? So I'm not buying into it. Miss me with all that argument, and I'm not trying to entertain it whatsoever. I also see wherein a lot of persons were saying that, you know, she should have reported it, and why does she want money, and why does she want his money instead of having him arrested? What difference does it make? She's coming for his pocket because she can use that money and hire a very good therapist that can take her on through the rest of her life and also help her to be a great mother to her children. So absolutely nothing wrong with her coming for his pocket. After all, it was his pocket that led him to believe that he has a God, to led him to have a God complex, that he thinks that he is invincible. Oh God, I'm tongue twister. He is invincible and can do just about anything to anyone and simply get away with it. You understand? It was his pocket that led him to do that. And might I add, the things that Cassie has described in the 35 page, who do you know is famous for those kind of things? These white men that they call cook, or bisexual white men who are very rich and they hire these type of male prostitutes and stuff like that to have sex with their wives, and they watch and they crave and envy for the member on the man, in particular a black man and stuff like that. You know, white men are known to be doing these, specific type of white men are known to be doing these kind of things. So what's that telling you? Diddy's living in the white man's life. He's living in the white man's dream. He's living in the white man's idea of success. And he wants to go all out. He wants to be a masochist. He wants to be a sadistic individual at the same time. And so it just backfired, basically. You know, you're going to come out of your pocket, Diddy. This is not looking good. And for someone to be doing something like that to another individual, it shows that you're a very dark person. You are channeling some very, very low vibration that's not of this world. And I simply can't relate. I don't want to relate. I hope Cassie finds some peace. You know, black woman was standing behind Cassie the entire time. That's why she said it was black women who gave her the strength, who made her feel her worth and know her worth, that she can move on from this. And so she has found her strength. She's standing 10 toes down and she's filing a lawsuit against him for that decade of abuse. Nobody should deserve that. Nobody should be subjected to something like that. That kind of subjugation, that type of subserviency. Nobody should be subjugated or subjected to something like that. And I support her, and I hope that she comes out the victor, and I hope that Diddy pays for it. I mean, there are many persons who have spoke about his thing, and I think it was a little bit too common for comfort. It was a little bit too common. And so we are seeing this, and persons are, you know, leaning to believe Cassie because she knows what she had been through. You understand me? There was another Asian looking woman, non-black like Cassie, and she went on Tasha K, and she was also speaking of being around Diddy, and he, you know, she was pregnant, forced her to terminate it, and I think she said he assaulted her already and stuff like that. And I'm looking at it, I'm looking at these women, and I'm like, these women are non-black. And now, black women, do you now see why black men go to these type of women? Because they will subject themselves to a lot of things that the average black woman won't. And when you decide that you are going to feel froggy and jump to subject a black woman to certain type of abuse, you know, chances are you're not going to come out alive. And so they will prey on, if it's a black woman, they will prey on her by her youth, and also by her lack of intelligence and lack of education, lack of self-worth. Our family background is a contributor factor. So they will do that, or they go over to non-black women and say, we like them because they're more feminine, they're more this. That's a go-to argument on the front page, that they're more feminine. I'm glad to see that more and more non-black women are coming out and realizing that they are just being used and taunted because they think, a lot of these men think that these women are easily targeted, or they're easily managed, or can easily trample on them, and they won't say anything. The respect that they're looking for, they're simply not getting it either. And so they're waking up to this type of behavioral pattern and the talking points that black men tend to use to discriminate or to disrespect black women. So kudos to Cassie for coming out. I'm in support of her. I hope that she comes out the victor. And let it be a learning lesson to a lot of women out there that you should walk away. You know, it's better to be alone than in bad company. You understand? You're not starving. You're not this, where you have to subject yourself to just about anything for a night meal. The glitz and the glamour, it's not worth it. It's simply not worth it. You're a human being and you have self-respect, self-dignity, pride and integrity. You live by it. You don't ever subject yourself or break your standard for someone because they have a bigger bank account than you. I hope that you get over it, and I hope that you take the time out to heal so you can be a great mother, not better, a great mother to your children. And that's all I have to say on this topic. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you again on the Devil Advocate channel. Bye-bye.